Okay. Let's see.
My old man is kicking in. I forgot what episode we're on.
Now we're on episode 18 of the Beyond Pixels podcast. And today we're talking about holidays in VRChat, like spending your time in VRChat for the holidays instead of going and doing something IRL.
I'm trying to think of the last time I did that. That must have been like back in 2018 or 2019.
Yeah, it definitely has changed over the years for me too. But I do know that I still get on, like, New Year's, I usually end up in VRChat instead of, like, at a bar in person.
Mi amigo. Oh, wait, I'm not in my avatar. Let me pop into good old Depresso.
So, yeah. Davian, have you ever spent, or do you ever remember spending a holiday in VRChat? Like New Year's,
yeah,
things like that?
Oh, yeah. Had a whole story for it. So, like,
oh, boy.
Pretty big one. Yeah. I'll wait till everybody hops in for it. Wait, as we are starting.
We're starting. We're just thinking of what to get going with right now. So I mean, I know when I first joined VRChat, it was December 27th, 2017. So right after Christmas in 2017. So I got to witness the ball drop in the old New Year's world that was actually modeled after Times Square. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have some funny stories about that world that don't exactly have to do with New Year's, and I'll get to that in a minute. But so yeah, I got to spend my my first ever New Year's in VRChat with a bunch of random people that I had just met in the last week or so. I'm pretty sure I was there with the Demon on Welfare, a good friend of mine back then. He doesn't really play VRChat much anymore because he's got IRL stuff going on, so he hasn't made it on a whole lot. But yeah, I spent first New Year's in VRChat hanging out with all sorts of random people, and it was great because I was 19, I think it was 18, 19. So me spending New Year's at a bar was kind of out of the question. There's a few years there where you can't go to the bar and there's nowhere for you to go. There's nothing for you to do for New Year's. And VRChat sort of fills that gap for that one, at least. I think that's pretty cool.
So for New Year's, I really never went to a bar. What I did was I went to a bunch of metal shows. It would be like a New Year's Eve bash. We'd get a bunch of local bands together, and we'd all drink and we'd party until it was ready for to hit midnight. And the minute it hit midnight, like the drummer would be up there counting on a hi-hat, like that. And it was, those were the only times that I ever went out IRL in terms of like celebrating New Year's. And then me and my friends, we would all drive, make sure that we had someone to drive us home. And then after that, I just really spent New Year's, at home. And then once VRChat came into play, it's just like, well, shit. Now I got a whole new medium to play with.
See, that's another cool thing about VRChat. The holidays where drinking is really common. So like New Year's, St. Patrick's Day. What's another one that like people usually get really drunk for? I don't know, Chinese New Year's or something. I don't know. There's a handful of holidays that are, yeah. There's a lot of, so anyway, there's a lot of holidays that drinking is really common, and when Vampy spawned in, all we saw was Vampy's chest for a second.
I can take
That's
the shirt off if
hilarious.
you really want.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, so like those holidays, you don't need a designated driver if you're in VR chat. You don't have to have someone that's not participating in the holiday if you're doing it in VR chat.
Yeah, but then there's also the concern of if they hurt themselves in their own house and they're alone.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna talk about the damages that VR chat does. That's gonna probably be next week's topic.
That's gonna be an episode all into itself. What
Yeah.
damage in property have you? What have you? How many times have you
Yeah.
bashed your fucking head into the wall or walked into a door?
Yeah, injuries, damage, and the bad things that VR chat causes. That'll be next week's episode. I've already got that. So yeah, but like you don't really have much to worry about. Like you'd have to worry about all of that if you were out and about for one of those holidays. But you don't have to worry about having one person left out that isn't drinking. You don't have to find one friend that doesn't drink. You can all just hang out in VR chat, and you can hang out with people that are all over the world instead of just the people near you. You don't have to travel to go visit your friends. It makes it a lot easier for those holidays, especially. But
we call it this. New Year's is I think just unique because you end up saying New Year's over and over and over again, as you have people across the country, across you know, also celebrating with you.
Oh man, New Year's this year. Oh, I was in the world hanging out with a really cool guy that doesn't really play VR chat other than for New Year's. I think I've mentioned his name before. He's my most subscribed to subscriber on YouTube. He's fucking awesome guy. But I was hanging out with him when VR chat went down 10 minutes before midnight Central Time on New Year's this year. My social menu, I had over 1,000 friends online when VR chat crashed. There were 100,000 people online on VR chat when it went down. So I had 1% of all online users in VR chat on my friends list at that time, which is fucking wild.
That is it.
The holidays,
cool as fuck.
the holidays definitely bring a lot of people back to the game that aren't really there most of the time either.
No, but
Crazy.
this was this past New Year's, or was it?
Yes, the last New Year's just a couple months ago.
I'm gonna be honest. I fucking hate the New World. I really am not a fan
Yeah.
of the whole. Like, maybe they might be doing. Do you think they're doing it for copyright purposes, so they don't get like?
It's either copyright or
the
it's
Quest.
Yeah, it's either copyright, it's Quest, or it's to have their own sort of branding on it. Because Times Square, well, everyone knows Times Square. If you see a picture of Times Square in VR chat, are you going to know that that's in VR chat? Probably not. Unless you've been there in VR chat and know VR chat. But if you see the New Year's world in VR chat, with VR chat's branding everywhere and their specific style, well, you're going to know that's in the VR chat Times Square. So, I mean, I think that's why they did that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Something else to throw out, like so. When I did mines, I did my first experience. I did it for the Times Square world, right? The year after, I mean, the Times Square world. The first time I went there, I enjoyed it so much. I was thinking the following year, I know what we're doing for New Year's. We don't really care to go out, me and my family. So I brought, the family, like my, wife and my daughter online. And of course there wasn't much drinking going on. And I had crew of people that was hanging around me. And the plan was we were going to spend, spend the New Year's in VR chat. Had like huge parties, had a lot of that. My wife talking to people and stuff like that. She wasn't really into VR chat. So, it was completely, it was a bit of a new space to kind of experience it there. And then that was the same year that we had like just a flood of people's like the biggest year, at the time for VR chat. And of course, servers start going down, people start falling out. And what we had to do at the end, once things start falling apart, is like, okay, so we're still gonna get this going. I'm still streaming this whole thing. I'm like, how are we gonna do this? Like, all right, well, you know what? We're just gonna film the actual ball drop. We end up going back into my server. My server had like, I don't know, 80 plus people all in one call. I'm streaming the ball chat and the end of the ball, and we're all like, we got it. We're gonna keep this going. We got one person that still survived, the lone survivor on a group. He's hanging the VR chat, looking at us, and we're all saying 3, 2, 1, and then ball drop. And that was like for the East Coast, and then stuff like that, and then went from there. But it's like,
that's the funny thing. Like VRChat, their servers are always stress tested on New Year's. It's like if VRChat doesn't go down on either Christmas Day or New Year's Eve every year, it's a fucking miracle.
Oh, better go buy a lottery ticket if that happens.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now you were talking. I want to just bring this up real quick because you mentioned bringing family into the game. I just want to tell this quick story. I actually got my dad, who is over 70, to play. I got him on the headset, and I was in a lobby with 3 other friends, two guys and a girl, and the guy had a tail. And the first thing my dad says when he puts the headset on and he turns to his right, he goes, "Oh my God, you have a tail." And then my friend is trying to, at that point, explain to a 72-year-old man how full body tracking works in the game. And it's just so fucking fun. It was such a funny thing. Just like I sat back and just listened to the entire thing. I was like, yeah, it's like trying to explain to him how an iPad or an Android works.
That's great.
It's like you'd have a better chance of teaching him how to edit. But yeah, I just had to throw that in there when you brought up your family. I was like, yeah, I have to mention this.
I mean, I got my mom in VRChat once on desktop.
I think for the wife, the
Fabiano
big
fucked
thing
my
that
mom.
caught her. Well, there we go.
Fabiano, I haven't heard that name ever. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I think he nuked his account.
Yeah, he nuked his account. He's no longer. It sucks, but I do miss the guy, and I wish nothing but the best for him. I will say though that the coolest thing I ever did was my 2 nieces and my brother. I actually showed them VRChat, and for my world of choosing, I showed them Hogwarts, like the full.
Oh boy.
Like you got to explore, you got to go up the staircase and everything, and my brother was like fucking like, God damn, maybe I ought to buy a PC. But I don't know, he never followed through with it. But I want to talk about Halloween. I think Halloween is the second best holiday, where everyone gets on, everyone's playing spooky maps. Who's that one creator of the worlds? You know what I'm talking about. It's like at first, it was the one with Lanfear and Oathmeal. You were like on a roller coaster of sorts, and it was like they were in some kind of asylum or something like that. And it was like Tamriel was a part of the like antagonist group.
I think I know the world you're talking about. Just the experiences that people create for VRChat. That you can go to a haunted house. You can go to 1,000 different haunted houses in a day. Versus IRL, you can probably only go to one every week.
And then the experience of it. You got people that'll jump and scare you, but VR so much. You have more potential to get more intense.
Oh yeah. Especially with the programming getting so good now, people can program the things to be worse than IRL, because IRL you're dealing with actual people trying to do their best. In VR, the programs got it all.
Oh, dude, Phasmophobia in VR, absolutely. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, do you really want to? Because I remember it was 2021. me and my buddy Fritz and a couple other guys, we all did a 12-hour run of Phasmophobia on Halloween. It was
Jesus.
absolutely like, hey, we made so much goddamn money that night. My God. In game, not in real life. If I made that kind of money in real life, I'd retire.
So then we all like
Same.
you.
I haven't played Phasmophobia in quite a while now. Haven't had anyone to
with
play
my
with.
with my broken base stations, I don't think I can play in VR, but I can play on desktop probably. No, I'm not used to it.
Last time I played Phasmophobia, I was drunk. There was a child ghost, and it got me, and I had like a mental breakdown over that. That was great.
Remind me.
I haven't touched the game
Remind
since.
me. Make a note. I will send you a clip. It's actually one of the last clips I made on Twitch. Of we were in a house, and the ghost was a 10-year-old, a dead 10-year-old. And
Oh, God.
all of a sudden, the ghost attacks, and I'm holding on for dear life, holding the door shut, and the ghost is like moaning in my fucking ears. It's like the whole time, and I'm having to hold this damn door shut. It's just like, just ignore it, just ignore it, just ignore it. And then as soon as it stops, I'm like, fuck y'all, I'm out of here.
That's great.
I'll show you the clip. I'll send you the clip after the podcast is done.
So, like, what is everyone's favorite holiday to spend in VRChat?
I mean, for me, I do like Halloween with all the worlds that's out there. My favorite's still New Year's, just because it's, it's like that's where you see all the people that were hiding. Like, where were you? How have you been? Like, and then like you get the stories like, oh yeah, well I have a kid now. Like, wait, you're 14. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Oh my God.
But it's kind of like a big reunion party.
Yeah. Personally, I like it for St. Patty's Day. Because even though I don't,
I was actually about to say
it
the
was
same
best
thing.
day
I was
to
about
get
to say
on
the same thing.
drink and
Dude,
actually
y'all remember
meet
when
people.
Whenever like a holiday, like say Valentine's Day or Easter or anything like that would pop up, the Great Pug would always update itself for every single holiday and decorate like to no fucking end. It was always entertaining to go into the Great Pug and see the decorations like for Christmas
that
or
still
for
happens.
Halloween. Yeah,
They've gotten even
to me-
crazier now.
Yeah, it's like I always enjoy like that type of update where I go into worlds that I normally go into and it's just like fucking decked out and like awesome decorations and stuff. Absolutely fucking creative, and I really enjoy that. It's like one of those aspects of the holidays that I really enjoy because it's like everything's being kept up to date, everything's being kept up to speed, and it's I don't know, it's a small thing, but it's a major thing to me.
It's actually really cool. A lot of world creators decide to push out big updates to their worlds for holidays with the holiday theming on it. And it sort of teases people. Like, that's what the Black Cat did, if I remember right. I don't remember what holiday it was, but when they did their full, like, rework and changed all the coloring of it and made it weirder, how it is now, I'm pretty sure that was over a holiday or really close to a holiday, and they just pushed out and said, here you go.
Didn't the Black Cat add
it was
like
just so different.
It was like a 15. It was like a ceiling tall Christmas tree, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it the Black Cat that did that? Or am I thinking of the pug?
I don't think it's the Black Cat. I think it's the pug that did that one. In the
because
middle
I swear
floor.
there was a tree that touched the ceiling. It was so tall.
Yeah. I definitely enjoy those. New Year's for me would probably have to be the best holiday to spend in VR chat, because all the people that I don't see ever, like either they're busy or they have other things going on or they don't play VR chat anymore, but they still get on for New Year's. It's insane.
Yeah. Oh, one other one. Okay, so one of the probably more hated on holidays, that we know why. That would be Valentine's Day. I did a huge.
Oh God, I hate it.
I know everyone hates it, but I did a huge event for like this, for people who are single, right? And like, we're gonna fucking. It was like something duded up for Valentine's Day. We went into a Valentine's Day world where it pairs you up randomly with someone, and this is probably like right before 2020, right in the beginning of 2020, and I mean we had a blast. A lot of people made friends and went finding a hookup or whatever. The few girls that were there, they were really into the other girls, so it was just there as a sausage fest, and we just kind of went in and just like drunk and had like this weird party with a Valentine's background, hearts and stuff like that. And it's like, I love you, bro. I love you. It was insane. It was insane. And so
I remember.
Imagine this.
I remember there was one Valentine's Day. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, all I was gonna say is that I just remember that we, like, after that day, like, and that was like, that's been years now, is that people who were like hanging out with her, they're still like the best of bros. Apparently that's a good thing. Apparently you need to spend Valentine's Day with your bro, and you have the best friend in the world.
I know. I did join one of those where I remember it was a couple of years ago. I was 34 at the time. And I remember that because I actually told, I got matched up with this girl, absolutely like very mature sounding. She could actually change her voice to sound like a guy. And it was so convincing you couldn't tell like the difference between if she was a man or a woman. It was absolutely like scary, but I know she was a girl. I know it was a girl, but, when she said, so, she asked, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 34, and the only response I got back to that was, "That's hot." That's all. That's the only thing she said to that. And then all I heard after that was her take a drink. So I was like, okay, how do I navigate those waters?
That's great.
With consent.
Okay, I don't know if it's
that's the correct.
Yeah, I don't know if it's considered a holiday, but do you think birthdays count?
Does
a birthday count as a holiday?
Consider that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would think that, I've had some really good birthday parties in VRChat, especially going back to like 2019 when I turned. Let's see, how old was I? I was 32 years old back in God. But I'm about to be 37 in a couple weeks, but needless to say, I would say that was probably one of the biggest birthday bashes because I told, I had 3 friends put it together, and they said, "Don't worry, we got you covered." And I did a 12-hour live stream, and I spent the first 3 hours in just chatting, talking to one of my best friends, and I was like, they're still setting up, so I can't get on yet. I was like, okay, I can wait. And 3 hours later, this is like, all right, they're ready for you. I'm like, shit, now you're telling me? So I jump on and I spend the next 9 hours, and we're jumping in between worlds. We're playing Cards Against Humanity. We're playing oh God, we talked about it last time on the podcast. What's that world that looks like a football field?
Never Have I Ever.
Never Have I Ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
We played that for like a full hour and a half straight. And every time you had to move forward, you had to take a drink. It was like one of the crazy... Again, I was in my early 30s. I was young. I was stupid. But I think, what are your boys, what are your thoughts on birthdays in VRChat? Like, is there like a memorable birthday for you?
I really haven't spent...
Celebrating my own...
Yeah.
I haven't really been in VRChat for my birthday since I've been on VRChat, because the first year, so 2018, I believe I was, I don't know what I was doing in 2018. I don't think I was home for my birthday that year. I really haven't been home for any of my birthdays in the last 5-6 years. I was a truck driver for 2 years, so I was out in Oregon for one birthday, and then the next birthday I was in Georgia with my mom, and then the next birthday after that I was in Georgia. So yeah, I haven't spent a birthday in VRChat. I'm always off doing something else IRL.
What about somebody else's
other
birthday?
People's birthdays. I've been invited to their parties, but No, I've been invited to all sorts of different birthday parties in VRChat, but I usually just pop in, say hey, and then leave because I don't know anyone else there. I just know the one person, and it just feels weird to me. I just, I mean, I don't really do much for birthdays in VR.
Okay.
Well, last birthday
Alright,
party I went to, they set up like the whole world for it. So I'm not sure if they hired a world creator or just a really good friend like really set it up. But it had like a little like ball drop thing, kind of like how they do for New Year's. Wasn't a ball. It was a giant present, right? And you saw it like spinning and spinning and spinning, and then as it was getting lower, it was like going for like an hour. And then once it hits like confetti and stuff like that, and sparkles and stuff like that all blew up. Like that was kind of nice. That was really nice. Even if I didn't really know anybody there, but it gave you a little incentive to like, hey, stick around. We're gonna have a present drop in sparkles. And like, fuck, I love sparkles. I'm in. I'm gonna watch sparkles. It got me staying there for an hour, so I was like, that's something that's an idea. If it works, it really does work. But yeah, I do think like holidays in general. I think that it's celebrating them digitally, not just VR chat. But I think it's interesting just celebrating it on a digital level versus IRL. There's a different dynamic of what you can actually do with it,
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would be willing to say celebrating holidays and events in VR chat or online, you're around more people that you get along with that you like instead of just the people that you can tolerate. Like if I go to the bar for my birthday like I did last year for the first time since I've been 21, which is fucking hilarious. If I go to the bar for my birthday or any holidays, I'm tolerating all the people around me. I don't really like any of them. I wouldn't consider many of them friends, really. But if I'm in VR chat, I'm likely to be around all sorts of people that I fucking love and want to spend all the fucking time hanging out with. That's the crazy thing about
the
online.
pretenses in IRL. You gotta, well, this may sound stupid, but you gotta wear pants. You gotta wear a shirt. You gotta put your shoes on. You gotta be, and then in VR chat, tits are out.
You can be in your underwear.
Whatever's going on. You're in a furry avatar. You're in some kind of creature, and you're just sitting there drinking, chilling, and everybody's just like, this is okay.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up a full like cosplay at Barney's, the bar down the street.
Barney,
I'll get photos.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably going to appear at the bar in my town on my birthday this year, wearing a bright pink maid outfit and just say, "Fuck it, I'm a princess tonight." It's gonna be great.
Tell me how many guys hit you on. Tell me how many guys hit on you. I want to know.
Dude, okay, the last time I wore the maid outfit, there were like 8 or 10 guys trying to get in my pants, and I wasn't wearing pants.
It's easier than you think, fellas.
It's wild, man. Wait! What did you just say?
What? I have no idea.
It's easier than it seems to get in my pants.
I just enjoyed the fact you accepted it so quickly.
Yeah, you accepted it and then thought about it.
Okay, to be fair, I do know. To be fair, I do know VTubers and VR chat streamers that do not wear any clothes when they actually stream. I'm not going to name names, but needless to say, it is a thing. They will stream naked IRL.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
See, if I lived alone, I would. I'd be unreal about it. I would.
I don't see that as a problem. In fact, in a way, I feel like there's, and this may sound crazy, but I feel like there are physical enhancements by doing it by being being full body and like naked. Okay, if you're at your desktop, whatever, I don't think it's a feature. You're just home chilling.
No,
but,
true story.
Go for it. Go
Good.
for it.
No, true story. The way we found out one of my friends was naked was when they turned their body, their ass cheeks clapped together, and my friend heard it on the mic. And he pointed it out, and he said, "Are you naked right now? It's hot as hell." That was the only thing they replied with.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
ready
I
now.
did.
I'm ready to go.
I had a friend that was always naked, and he would talk about it, and I was like, dude, don't you fucking dare touch me. So he would get all up in my face and try to touch me and put his body all over me, and I'm like, dude, no, this is weird. You're not wearing clothes. Then the one time that he was actually wearing clothes.
Naked.
The one time that he was actually wearing clothes, he joined me and said, "Hey, Turtle." I'm like, no. Like, what? I'm wearing clothes this time. Like, I don't fucking trust you. It was great.
The all natural.
I'm free
Well, I kinda I made it
I
from
hear
my
that
senior
right? Was
year.
that
I
free
think
balling or free balling?
That was
Free
free
balling.
balling.
Make that into a fucking
I
parody
couldn't
song.
resist. Come on.
It's that, or we need to contact Weird Al and
I'm
have him make that a song.
free
God.
balling.
Oh boy. Yeah,
I seriously think Weird Al Yankovic would make that a song.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Oh,
what
Jesus.
I want to hear it now.
Yeah.
I want him to make it. It would be so great.
Look at me,
Listen,
I'm
there's a
white and
program you
nerdy.
can make AI songs with. There's your project.
Oh God,
Oh
no.
yeah.
I don't
You
want
just
to
do that
upset
now.
I don't want to upset the god that is Weird Al.
Well,
No,
no.
don't do Weird Al.
You got to remember, he loves comedy. So if you do it with AI and do it well, he'd probably love it.
I
Yeah.
still wouldn't take
Do
the
it with
risk because of
Mickey
the fact
Mouse.
that
I
he
wanna hear
has
Mickey
something I
Mouse
don't,
do
which
it.
is 7 figures in his bank account.
You know, if you made a Weird Al parody or AI parody, he would probably be like, "Yo, here's $100,000. I want this."
Make an album.
Like,
He
I
probably,
will
dude, if
buy
he
this
told you to
song
make an
off of
album,
you.
I bet he
That'd
would.
be great. Oh
Well,
man.
We didn't hear anything
What
this
would
morning.
the album be called? Like if it had Free Ballin', let's see, what's another parody song?
It would be Weird AI Yankovic.
Weird AI Yankovic.
California girl.
Oh my god.
Las Vegas
Oh,
girl. They're
fucking
quite
hell.
forgettable.
Enter the
Half-ripped
Yankatrix.
pants. Their dad is upset.
Jesus. Anyway, so
What about 4th of July?
what is it?
I know we haven't
Oh,
really talked
yeah,
about that one.
Does anything really happen in VRChat for the 4th of July?
There's actually a firework world that I go to personally. Like there's
Huh.
always like you turn on the fireworks, you can control the colors, you can actually control the
Yeah, I mean,
you know whether you get big ones, small ones, you get bottle rockets, you get sprinklers.
That's what she said.
Not sprinklers.
I feel so much better. I just had a chocolate cream pie.
why?
That's also
okay,
what she
we're
said.
talking
You're
about big
a
ones,
wait,
small
wait.
ones, and then we're talking about cream pies. What the fuck is this? Oh my god!
It's called an episode of The View.
No, I mean, so 4th of July is the time for me to go out and lose my virginity. That's a story all its own, you know.
How many
I go out to the
times?
bars and one time. One
Okay,
time.
that's what I thought.
It was one time, and
No,
the maid
I wanna
outfit
know.
stayed on.
How many attempts did it take? That's what I want to know.
One.
It took one.
Yeah.
Told you it's not that hard.
Oh my god.
You know where I lost?
That's good.
I lost my virginity on an army base.
You know
Ayum.
what? Instead of
base?
being a
Okay.
VTuber,
Fort Stewart?
like, I've got
Fort Sill in Lawton, Oklahoma.
Anyway, back on the topic
my
of the day.
I have to
Hey,
call
it's just an
Raya
interesting fact. I got nothing. I got
VVVTuber.
nothing to hide. I'm not shameful.
Let's see. I have to be the
Mhm.
VVVTuber.
Jesus.
The Virgin
Oh my
Vampire
God. Okay,
Vegas
so
VTuber.
so Christmas. What about Christmas? Does anyone ever do anything
we-
for Christmas in VR chat?
I mean, I
I
played.
kind of
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
About
usually
the
Go
working
only
for
or
it.
busy with like family.
We're so polite. You go
I'm
first.
never really on.
ask before Aziz.
Okay, so my first Christmas in VR, okay, this is actually really ironic because this was the very first big raid that I got, like 2 days before Christmas. I was streaming on Twitch, and at the time I was using my I had Oculus, and I was using my Nanachi at the time, my Nanachi avatar, my green and black Nanachi,
Mm-hmm.
and I got raided by Minikane that day.
Oh, I love
And
Minikane.
I was with Annie, and my viewers spiked from like 4 viewers to 92 viewers in just one
Jeez.
split second. And I was like, oh my God, Jesus, why are you talking to me? I didn't know who Minikame was at the time. And it's funny, I went back and watched his stream. I went back and watched his stream and what he said, and he's like, I wonder if he knows who I am. We're gonna raid this guy. He's a Nanachi avatar. You know, I wonder if he knows who I am. Anyway, you know, talking like Minikane talks like Minikane, of course. But yeah, I eventually did get to thank him personally in VR chat. Like, I think it was like about a few days after Christmas, right before New Year's. I got to meet him through a friend and say thank you. You gave me my very first ever big raid. Like, so thank you, bud.
I've known him
He
for
was
years.
very kind and
He's awesome.
he was very kind and cordial. Yeah, absolutely. One of the nicest people I think in the game that I've ever talked to.
Yeah, he's chill. I haven't seen him in a long time now. But
Yeah, it's been a minute.
yeah, so Christmas I usually go around, I set aside a little bit of money and I go around and like fucking since VRChat's had VRC Plus at least, I go around and just buy random people VRC Plus. If someone makes a joke or says something that I find funny, it's like, here, I got something for you. Have VRC Plus.
Wait, are we
I usually
talking
give
about-
like 10 or so of them
It's
out
10.
around
Yeah,
Christmas.
it's $10 a month. I was about to say you're not buying them an annual subscription per person.
Oh,
That's
fuck
like
no.
$100.
No, I buy them like a 1 month. I go out and spend like $100 and give people a month of VRC Plus.
Make people's day.
But how do you
Yeah.
determine who gets it? That's what I want to know.
I go to random public worlds and just if someone says something funny, makes me laugh, sort of thing, the regular things that would make me add someone as a friend, I'll buy them VRC Plus if they don't have it, or I'll give someone some small task like, hey, do this thing, walk up to this person and say the funniest thing you can, and I'll give you VRC Plus, things like that. Like it's completely up to the situation. It's not like oh, this person deserves it, that person deserves it. No, it's just a fun thing.
Okay, fair enough.
You should have them fight to the
Yeah,
death.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I really do think VRChat is really, really good when it comes to the common drinking holidays, more so than the rest.
Like St.
Yeah.
Patty's.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so like New Year's, St. Patrick's Day, that's pretty much the two big ones that I think VRChat exceeds with. The rest of them are more just how the world's changed their looks during the holiday, and that's about it.
Okay, someone may have to refresh my memory because I'm old, but didn't they have like an it was around Easter, didn't they have like an actual world where they had an egg hunt and the first person to find all the eggs like got put on a pedestal as soon as they found the last egg?
Yeah,
Can
I think
someone
they did
tell me what
that
that world was? Because I can't remember what it was.
I never went to it, but I heard about it.
No, but you were given a time limit, and everyone started at the same time. So like it was like a countdown. You had 3, 2, 1. Objective: find all the eggs. And the first person who found all the eggs won and got put on the pedestal.
There's another one. So for Halloween, I like the Halloween game worlds. Like VRChat does the world jams for all the different holidays, pretty much. And sometimes they do avatar jams for them. And a good friend of mine, Enlightenment, he made Candy Investors a couple years ago, and that won one of the awards for Halloween. I got to talk to him about that world a little bit a while back. But that world, like that world's fun. The games that people make that have nothing to really do with the holiday, but are just themed around the holiday, I think those are the best thing. Like, imagine a freaking drinking game, not like IRL drinking, but a game in VRChat about drinking or collecting different drinks or something like that for St. Patrick's Day. I think that'd be fun.
That'd actually be pretty interesting. Yeah, absolutely. I remember just any time that I did St. Patty's Day, there was a board game that we played over. It was, I think it's in Rob Robin's world. We would actually jump into the board game, and it'd say, take 2 shots, point to a person, they take 2 shots or something like that. It was like a really complex. It was like Jumanji, but for alcoholics, and it was absolutely a lot of fun. But I think the last 2 holidays that we need to touch on, unless you want to talk about Thanksgiving, but the 2 holidays I want to talk about next, because I really think that these ones kind of involve more of the role play aspect of VRChat, and that's Mother's Day and Father's Day. Because you do have families in VRChat. You do have families in VRChat where people are a mother or people are a father, or because I was a part of a VR family early on in my desktop days.
Yo, yeah, I had 1 or 2 years. I had a bunch of my VR children come up to me on Mother's Day back when I was in a female avatar, and it was hilarious. They all came up to me and were like, "Happy Mother's Day," and screaming that. It was hilarious. It was great. I'm really, man, VR chat's great. I love it here.
I'm not trying to make you cry, okay, bro? I'm not trying to make you cry here.
No, I miss the days when everything was so wholesome and everything. Now it's not really like that anymore. You don't have the wholesome VR families. Instead you have these people going after these VR families saying, "This is disgusting, this is horrible, why would you do these things?" Before the cancerous and toxic people found their way into VRChat, it was such a much better place. God.
Yeah, it doesn't it feel like something happened that would open up the floodgates, and then they just came in.
Yeah.
This is before the whole Quest situation. It was just like, the normies are coming in and they're just hating everything.
Yeah, they
you know what I blame? I blame COVID. I blame COVID for that.
I think I'd make it.
Here's the thing.
The last leg, to be honest.
There's a really crazy freaking thing that I found. Like,
glad to see you here.
People, what was it? I lost my fucking brain. My brain is spinning.
Bugging.
No, okay. People come into VRChat not knowing what the culture of VRChat is like. And then they hate the culture of VRChat and how everyone interacts. And they start blaming VRChat for how those people interact, instead of saying people are interacting that way in VRChat because they're more comfortable. Like, VRChat really ends up just being the social release for a lot of people that don't get social release IRL, or don't feel comfortable going out in public IRL, or don't have anyone to go out in public with IRL. So they end up doing it all solely in VRChat. And the holidays really let that come out.
I was going to add, some cases they medically can't. Like, it'd be too dangerous for them to
that
go
too.
out in public too often.
Well,
yeah, like,
I was gonna add on. I was going to add on to that because, I mean, I've said this publicly before, and I don't apologize for this. So if I offend anybody watching, I'm not apologizing for this, because I've already made my feelings very clear about this. VRChat is a melting pot of mental health issues, and this is where they deal with them in a social way. Now, it may not be the best prescription, but you know what? It is what it is. And this is where they have to... This is their only decision. I mean, to force somebody to go out in the IRL world would just be terrifying, and I can't imagine what the actual result would be from that.
Yeah.
The IRL world is just so much worse.
It's more of a treatment than it is a cure-all, though.
Yeah, but it's not a cure. That's the problem. It's not a cure. It's just a treat. It's it's basically something that can
It's an escape.
help, but it's not a it's not a cure though. but it's not a cure. That's the issue.
See, a
But
lot of
that's something
people
for another day.
use VRChat to escape the bad in the real world. And now it really feels like the bad of the real world is leaching into VR and making it just like the real world. And people are trying to treat it that way. And that just makes me so angry. Like, let the people in VRChat have their fun the way they want to have their fun. And if you don't like it, don't come here. If you're just going to come onto VRChat and be toxic and put people down and make people cry. Because words do hurt. I mean, they don't hurt me. You can say whatever you want to me, and it's not going to affect me. But they do hurt a lot of people.
Gay.
Ha! Gay!
Gay. Fucking Christ.
Let me up a little bit. My trackers are kind of.
I mean, taking it back to
anyway.
speaking of that, speaking of going back to Christmas, does it bother anybody? Because I've seen posts on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, where, you know, I would see people like tweet, like back in the day, especially going as far back as 2019, 2020, 2021, going that far back. I saw tweets of people saying, you know, I don't have a family to celebrate the holidays with, so I guess I'm going to go on VRChat and just handle. Is it just me, or is this like, man, if I could, I would bring you to my house and I would literally have I would invite you to Christmas dinner if I could.
He says hi, baby girl.
Am I the only one that actually like kind of feels in that regard? Because of the fact that it's just like, I've never had that kind of childhood that these people have had. You know, I had a loving family.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and my mom and dad, they love me. I love them. We've never had any issues growing up. So I can't understand personally from a point of view what it's like to not have a Christmas or not have a New Year's or not have a Thanksgiving or anything of that sort. Does it bother you all in that regard?
I really don't know.
Not really.
Me, not so much. I don't know. Like, holidays was always kind of weird. I think it really depends on your relationship with your family. My close family, love them, enjoy them. The others, they tagged along. I wasn't exactly fans of them. So it, like, sometimes the holidays gave a bad taste. And you know, for me, not too much like celebrating. Like, oh well, you're coming. Which is, I know, that's how I kind of end up just kind of feeling. It's not exactly good, but it is what it is. I was just kind of like, yeah, the holidays, whatever, I don't care. So now when the holidays come around, like, I don't like celebrating my birthday, but I'll go to your birthday party. I like, you know, if I'm having something on, like, I don't really promote that, but I'll go to yours, because I always felt like when I was growing up, like, it wasn't exactly like a positive highlight for me. So I never yearned for that because it felt it kind of sucked for me.
I've got something here. So me personally, growing up, holidays were always like this. Oh, you have to be good, you have to behave, you have to do all this crazy shit, and you have to do something. Whereas now I don't really I don't really participate in many holiday traditions like at all anymore. I just treat it as another day, so I hang out with people in VRChat instead and do whatever. And just, you know, I sort of just break the traditions. I don't do anything.
I'm pretty much the same way. It was like, yeah, we may still like do it somewhat, but most of the part is just our family getting back together, eating a lot, and talking a lot of shit. That's how we spend most of our holidays these days.
Thank you for coming here, because I was getting
that sounds so
really
nice.
Freaked out at being the only person able to physically emote.
It's fucking
Well, I'm
weird.
sorry, but I need a new head. I need a new head before I can get back into VR properly.
Just pretend that everyone around you besides us is a mannequin.
Motherfucker! You want mannequin?
Oh my god.
Fucking...
Bro, I'm dead from the neck down and I'm proud of it. Go fuck yourself with a wire brush.
At least you look cozy while doing it.
Anyway, I think what did I say at the beginning that we were going to talk about next week?
You said that we were going to talk about damages and damages to property IRL because of VR.
Okay.
Like,
well, not property IRL necessarily, but just the damages
your
of
VR
VR.
headset, your walls,
No,
if you're banging into your
that's not what I
monitors.
meant, though.
Your eyes.
That's not exactly what I meant. I meant
That's what I meant.
mentally, both physically and mentally. Like the bad
How has
side
VR
of
impacted
things.
your mental health?
How has VR harmed you?
That basically.
Okay.
So yeah, we're probably gonna touch more on mental health next week.
Where did
And,
VRChat
Oh,
touch you?
know,
dude, that is a very going to be a very strong topic.
Yeah,
One I'm
and
looking forward
so
to, actually.
I'm gonna give you
'cause I'm
guys
curious.
this task
Mhm.
for next, and also just a note, we are going to just one podcast a week. Currently, that's going to be on Thursdays.
Okay.
Just because I have too much going on IRL that I have to take care of, so we're down to one podcast a week. Eddie, can you be quiet? Be quiet. Quiet. Quiet.
Love
Anyway,
you, Eddie.
so I want you guys, since we're going to talk about, we're going to talk mental health and the dangers of VRChat. For next week, Thursday, come up with some points that are good things that VRChat does, some bad things that VRChat does, and ways that people that might be wanting to use VRChat to help with mental or emotional problems in their life, ways that VRChat can help with that, and what they can do, how they can, the people that are like really antisocial and don't put themselves out there, like conversation starters that they can use, things like that.
Right.
I'm
Just some way
kind of
that they
tossing
can
that
actually
on you
manage
guys
it,
to help
yeah.
out with coming up with lists.
Now I
All
really
right,
hope
you
I
got.
make it,
I got
'cause
my
I've been
work
in
cut
those
out for me.
shoes.
Now I gotta fucking draw up another document. Thanks.
We believe in
We
you.
can also,
But I also
you
wanna
can
say-
also brainstorm in the Discord and talk about it there.
I also
want
want to say if we're gonna talk about the positives of managing mental health, we also have to talk about the negatives of people
Yeah, oh,
actually
yeah.
taking
Yep.
advantage of those who are mentally ill.
yeah, and
We have to
and
talk about
how
that too.
alcohol.
We cannot talk about heads without actually acknowledging that
I
tails exist.
already
too.
said. I already said.
Stealth.
Even-
I'm not
I
talking
even
about you.
said
Shut
we're
up.
going to talk about that, and we're going to
I'm
talk
well
about
aware.
how like drugs and alcohol tie into that, and the effects of VRChat combined with that. The next week's going to be a really deep topic.
Strong
basically.
episode.
So we're gonna.
I think we should.
Yeah.
I think we should extend that episode. We're going. I know you want to keep these episodes to an hour. I think that one needs to go too. If I'm just
That
throwing
one
that
probably
out
needs
there,
to be like a longer special.
it needs to be a little bit longer.
Yeah,
because we are
It-
going
it
to
probably
actually.
will
This
be.
is going to be a deep subject.
that one I'm
try
not
and
going
invite
to-
Beth, the psychology major.
Yeah. definitely.
Oh, that would be
You know,
awesome.
I may know somebody who actually
Yeah.
is who does have a major in psychology. I might be able to get
Hey,
them.
sick.
I'd have to reach out to them. I'm not going to say their name,
Well,
but I'll
I'm
reach
not
out to
going
them
to
and see if they.
guarantee that we'll be talking about that next week, because things might come up, or we might have someone that's available a week later that wants to come on and talk. So
And he may
I'd
very
like
well
to do that
decide
one next week if we can.
Chew on the cables.
Eddie, do you mind? Do you mind, little boy? Oh, you're such a cute boy. Yeah, you are
One
so
of these
cute.
days, I want to pet
Yeah.
Eddie. I want to pet
Well,
Eddie.
come up
one
to
of these days.
Wisconsin. Anyway,
Me
so
too.
we're going to do the thing at the end of every podcast, and we're going to start with circuitry, because circuitry is my green boy.
Absolutely,
Oh,
you
my
can
other
find
boy.
me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I do not use Twitch or Kick for streaming, but I do use Rumble. You can go to rumble.com and find me there. Thank God they're banning TikTok from the United States. Thank you.
Wait, what?
Finally, you did something right.
Okay,
Yeah,
whoa,
they're,
whoa,
they're
whoa, whoa.
banning TikTok.
Yeah, it
wow.
it got
Vampy, go for
passed,
it.
so yeah.
All right. Obviously,
never
you can
gonna-
find me on Twitch once I actually get back to stream again. I'm looking at getting a new PC and doing a payment plan for a pretty beefy one. Oh god, that's gonna cost a lot. That will be at Sir_Bloodworth. If you want to look at my YouTube and old videos I have, it is Vampy1001, like my name above me. And I'm single. Please, I need a date.
Hey,
Someone get this man laid.
Putting it out there.
I'm a
Putting it
virgin.
out there.
Hey, you can plug anything and everything you want. Go ahead,
Hey,
Xavier.
oral
And you can
Counts
too,
too.
if you go with Vampy. You
No,
can find me on Twitch.
I
It's
don't
the same
fuck
name
oral.
right
Hold
above.
What did you just say?
What?
Oh, Jesus.
What I miss?
I said you can plug anything and everything you want, and Xavier said you can too if you go with Vampy.
Fucking God.
And then he just casually starts doing his plug. I'm
Shit,
just
I
here.
do.
Oh my
I have to see what the chat's like.
It's what I've been doing.
Go ahead again.
You can find me. You can find my videos on YouTube. We got some hilarious stuff there, and and on Twitch, I'm gonna stream as soon as I can. Work's been keeping me busy in a positive way. But stay tuned. Join the Discord. And I hope to see you. I hope to rock with you.
And my boy Stealth. Go ahead.
Alright. Y'all can find me at twitch.tv/stealththefox. That is the same name for my YouTube channel, but all of my videos are privated. I might put them, like the playlist they're hiding on, onto the server after Turtle's done dying.
Dog. I'm sitting up here playing with your ears, twisting them back and forth, and suddenly, bang! There's a fucking jaw on my arm.
Like, pay attention to me!
Anyway, so this has been episode what? 18? Yeah, episode 18 of
yeah.
the now once weekly Beyond Pixels podcast, where we talk about
Fucking shit, I'll
VR
never
and
forget.
online topics. I will fuck you. Anyway, we talk about VR and online
You lost your
topics.
chance. You lost your chance on that one.
Oh, wait.
If you
I gotta do my
enjoy-
thing.
If
I gotta
you
do my
enjoy-
thing.
I'm still
In the co-
going. If you
In the comments
Joy.
section, down
There you
below,
go.
what is your holiday? What is your favorite holiday in the comments section down below on YouTube? Comment down below.
I never
What
got
is your
to
favorite
say,
holiday?
all the way to New Year's.
but
Your mother's
anyway,
very nice. She
so
has great boobs.
like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Support us. Turtle01 everywhere. I plan to keep this podcast going for as long as I really can. Schedules are obviously going to change here and there, but we'll keep pushing through and seeing how it works. But if you have any topic ideas that you might want us to talk about, or if you want to come on and talk about something, then hit the link in the description. There is a link to join the Discord server. Come on in there, hang out, talk to us. Everyone in this room right now is in the server. And thank you all for being here almost every episode at this point to talk about whatever the fuck I come up with to talk about. Today's topic was brought to you by Sobi, who he's not here today.
This video was just Photoshop him in there.
He woke up way too early this morning. He couldn't handle it. So anyway, thank you
God
for
damn it,
watching.
Sobi,
Thank
you
you for
had
being
one
here.
fucking job and you screwed it.
He cooked for me, so he had 2 jobs and he got one of them right.
You only got 50% of your day right.
Anyway, let's go ahead and
Pull the plug. Baby
All
girl, say
it's
bye,
here.
chat.
Aww.
So
I
that's the reason to
will.
watch the whole thing.
You guys
Damn straight. Leave a
on
like.
the next one.